There's many ways that a thinking person can demonstrate that capitalism destroys the concept of community. You can't have both. You can't have capitalism and democracy either. They are mutually incompatible. If you don't know, or you want to say no, or you kind of are such a fan of capitalism that you kind of won't even acknowledge good arguments or things that even happen to you that prove it, because you believe somehow that makes you king of the jungle to promote capitalism, then I don't know what to tell you. At this point, I wanted to say that I have now, or at least enough time has passed, and I've minimized my interaction with Filipinos, and I have no choice now to have so many with people from India, that I now have, without having dated anybody from India, I now have too many triggers interacting with people from India. And I just came from Petro Canada here, okay, where I'm a regular customer, and I don't know, maybe it's just he's never seen me in this clothes, I don't know. But this is a perfect day where I don't have access to my wallet right now, and the $9 in coins that I had, I'll get to later how I spent it, but I gave one of those 2 cheeseburgers to a guy I thought I knew, but it wasn't him. We still had a good conversation on a bench, me and this homeless person going through a hard time. He felt heard. That's the concept of community. You don't get that with capitalism. And just because there was a business transaction where I can demonstrate in this same story how acquiring these burgers made me discouraged about this community and feel extremely disrespected with people that have the same language as me but don't communicate. And when I say language, they think I'm racist. They think somehow I'm saying we have the same language and you choose and you're not motivated to, and you don't care about communicating with the customer, and then when you lose business you kind of want to blame us for it. He said, I remember from last time something similar. Yeah, so how come you didn't learn from it? How come I'm barely finished saying extra cooked and the bag's ready? And so it is, because for them that's the way to do it, and it qualifies as cooked. So what does extra cooked mean? It means normal cooked to them? It doesn't. It's just a lack of care and concern from people from India. And it's like, one guy is like, I gotta pay with coins, I'm not sure if I have exactly enough. You said $9.45, I know I have more than 9, I'm not sure. So I had $9.35. Then I asked, but he's not counting. I could have given him like $7.50, and he didn't care to do any counting, and he would have thought he had $9.45. And then the other 2 guys, there's a customer, and when I didn't know that he eventually got served, but at that time he hadn't, and I'm looking at him and I'm saying he's not with me, but the other 2 are looking at the guy that's not counting the coins, and they're waiting to see what's going to happen with me. They don't give a damn. Or the Chevron in New Hazelton, it's like one of the only places, I think it is, to stop at night for coffee or refreshments or whatever, go to the bathroom. And that guy that I've seen a few times, I tell you, like, I was at the cash one time and he's still down on his phone like this, and I have to tap for him to even do the transaction. And just, like, things aren't refilled everywhere, cleaned. It's like, by the way, I press mocha, does this look like mocha? Totally dark coffee with nothing in it. And like, just the bare minimum. So you know what I'm thinking about India, with the Anthropocene now, largely caused by countries with large populations, is this going to be a country where they're everywhere, in the sense that, they're spreading the toxic memetics of their culture because they don't talk about it. It's just normal. It's the path of least resistance. My parents are proud of me. I have a job, and it's a job where I do have one thing to focus on: quality, customer care, and what I deliver to the customer, and they still don't. They won't even do that. So in the Anthropocene, where the countries are supposed to, the ones that move a lot of economies, they're supposed to help the underdeveloped or the struggling ones. Well, in a way, because of the nonsense of what economics makes us believe about a place or a nation or a society or a culture, which is false, because just all of economics is false, is it would be what it would be like. It would have to pay its own damages from the Anthropocene because it qualifies for boat India. Like, I don't know how you guys are going to do this hypocrisy there, but I'm pretty sure I don't want to find out because I don't need any more discouragement in my own species. So, and these situations weren't once. I'm telling you now, and I'm telling you where they are, like this Dairy Queen in Smithers, because it happened more than once, and because my feelings matter, and because my time matters. When I have to explain to them, that's how you lose business. I said, it's cooked. Open the burger, you'll see. And I said, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you don't care about communication. I don't feel heard. And I know the burger's going to be the same as usual, undercooked. And the patty's the only thing cooked anyways. So, and when I tell people, yeah, anybody, not just me, digests bread better. Most of us shouldn't eat gluten, but if it's toasted. Pretty sure that's accurate. Well, they don't care. They don't care to, and that's when there's nobody. I'm saying there's nobody. It's just you two guys waiting. Why do you take pride in putting it in the bag really quick and then making it seem like I'm a racist? I'm judging you by your behaviors, not by, the color of the skin you were born with. That's ridiculous. So I think the more I try to point out as a culture repair that cultures are what decisions people make in mass, but individuals create in mass, is nope, they can play the card that I have hatred or bigotry, and somehow their decision, which is measurable, documentable, you can present that evidence, you can even give them a chance, say please don't do it like that next time, and they'll do it again. That's what happens. So yeah, I'm sorry, but that culture is so, and again, it's a culture. It can change, it can improve, it can care, it can stop taking everybody down with them when they travel everywhere. So now I want to, if I go into a place and I see, majoritively, so it's almost like one of the too late to apply this immigration rule is the immigration ideas I had before, for example, is create these questionnaires or surveys or patterns or ways to examine for this, is tell people leave these parts of your cultures over there, and these are toxic things that they would agree with, that's why they're leaving, but don't repeat it here. They would agree with this. Take the good. We want to taste your cuisine, we want to see your music, dancing, although the singing from India for me it's just not my style. I like the costumes, some of the dancing, I would have to go like this. It's just not for me. And I'm not saying it's bad, it's just not for me. So, and I have the right to say this. Okay, and I like Korean ballads sometimes for a year without knowing what it's about. Do you want to judge me for that? So, we all have our flavors of interests, but there's also things that hurt culture and things that don't hurt culture. So India, one idea that, let's say, a Canadian government would have, let's say, if they were brave enough, if there were politicians from there who knew this made sense, then they would be brave enough to step up, say, okay, well, we don't mind more come, but we should have applied these rules way ago, but we're always outdated and too late with solutions, because that's what government does. And but now we're going to say that if an owner of a business, could be a franchise, is from India, then no staff should be from India. Or if staff are majoritively from India, then the owner shouldn't, and it shouldn't be sold later to an owner. That's just the way you have to apply this now, because nobody wants to talk about culture. So you have to, who fixes culture if not the government? Doesn't seem to be the people that want to do it. So anyways, that's some ideas. So this guy here, he wasted my time, a long time, with the cards. He was making a mistake, not explaining things at the Petro Canada last time. He said, hey, I spent a lot of time here for you to figure this out. and you weren't communicating well. I'm waiting outside and you're saying it's working when it's not working, and you're like, somehow your assumptions, you believe they're reality. They're not reality. So now he didn't remember that I made him agree in front of a customer, can I get a free slush that I like the blue ones every time I come here, next time you're here? He said, yeah. And now he doesn't remember. And it's not like 6 years ago, okay? It's like, I don't know, a week maybe. And he said, I can't give you a free slush. It's like he doesn't remember me. So now, like when somebody, I have to force accountability out of them, because when I had my driving school, I give you examples. I do something wrong, here's how I compensate. They don't even have to ask, because that's community. That's caring about your customers. So now would I have to get him to sign free slush, blah, 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 and then other customers are looking at this and they think I'm nuts? Oh, you think I'm nuts? Put yourself in my shoe, where you actually know how to defend your human rights, right and wrong. You understand the concept of, my time is as valuable as your time. And you're going to come back and he's going to pull a fast one like this. And it could be he doesn't remember. But if you don't remember a customer like me that can be assertively saying, you're losing customers with this. Are you okay with this? In front of a customers, and he doesn't remember that? Yeah, I don't know what kind of disabilities most people have in franchises. Could be gas stations, could be food franchises, but I'm telling you, capitalism kills the ability for community to form, for cultures to even be self-aware, much less discuss things that they might have to correct.